Shout out to I Love Marbles. Welcome back to the Sleuth Crew. Olivia, how are you? Good afternoon, Matt. What's up, Nate? Glad you can make it. Jules, what's up? There's my Jules. Good to see you. Beachberry, what's up? Roy Clayton. Basketball Dogs, how you doing? Shout out to Indianapolis in the house. What's up, Art? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, we're going to try to make it a regular thing. I was trying to, but I just had to sort out some scheduling issues. You know, sometimes it takes a couple weeks to do that. Mother of Dragons, hello, hello. What's up? Sam Blanton, how you doing? Where's everybody from? Just curious. Susie, shout out to Susie. Good morning to you. Jill Moser. What's up, Jill? Kevin, good morning. Cole, good morning. Brad, what up, my friend? Yeah, we're going to hang out for a little bit. Thank you, Jules. What's up, Andrew? 517 Kells, what's up? Julianne. Jane from the country. I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. Boston Christian, hello. Rod, Victor, my Rod, and my staff. We in it now, Boston. We're in the thick of it. Stay strong, sir. D, what's up, D? Again. Bob's been dropping some good convo in the comment section. I really appreciate that. He's been holding me to the coals. Thank you. All we want is understanding, and you're a great help when you get to that point, so I appreciate it. All right. That's enough of the music. Let's get this show on the road, as they say. Shout out to everybody who made this live stream. Shout out to you for leaving or participating in the chat. Thank you. Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. We've been hanging out in the mornings. It's turning into a bit of a habit. We're going to try to make it a regular thing. I was attempting to do so previously, but had some scheduling conflicts. Those are all worked out now. Sweet Jules. Hey, that's a good idea. Maybe I will set up a P.O. box. Ooh, that sounds magnificent. Some maple syrup. Some homemade blueberry pancakes. Damn. Wisconsin. Shout out to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is in the house. Awesome. Good morning to you. Shout out to Michigan. It's freezing, huh? Great live yesterday. Had me thinking more about MB. MB, why is that not ringing any bells? I feel I need to go back and listen to Open Secrets, Garrett Kurtz interviews. Doesn't he mention her? Oh, yeah, definitely. I think he even mentions dating her. Big Fish, hello. Shout out to England. They talk funny. Ronnie, what's good, Ronnie? Linda, good to see you. D, you don't seem to have the best weather. It's either freezing, raining, or there's a blizzard or a tornado or something's coming. Thank you, Kevin. All right. So I think we're going to start today's discussion. A lot of these live streams are kind of spill-offs from conversations that happen in the Discord, the members-only Discord. So I figure if I can get on the live stream early enough in the morning, we don't throw out all the good ideas into the Discord, and we can share them with you guys. And then we can do more of a follow-up there. But we were talking momentarily about where was Muddy and Bloody Guy when the witness scene was able to get eyes on him? So I think we'll start here. Good morning, GP. Good to see you, Melissa. Derek Farmer's in the house. Just had some fresh maple syrup. Amazing this year. Oh, I don't know why that sounds so yummy. Miss Thang, good morning. Let us know about the P.O. box, and I'll send you some embroidered merch. Oh, hell yeah. I want some samples. Yeah, if you send me some samples, I'll send them out as gifts for the members giveaway. And then I'll talk to my wife if she wants to place an order, because we're talking about doing some wholesale stuff. because we can't find anything that makes sense that's made in America right now. So it's really tough. So it'd be good. So if you get your clothing, or if we can make an order and get everything made in America, that'd be really great. Right now, our stuff in our merch shop comes from Taiwan, which is fine for now, but yeah, it's a good idea. Maybe I'll set that up this week. That way, if you guys want to send me some cool stuff, I can show it on the live stream as well. Maybe some artwork, whatever. Lori Clayton, hello, says my mom made the best blueberry and chocolate chip pancakes. Sounds pancakes sound. I'm so hungry right now, and I don't have any coffee in the house. And I just text my wife, and she's running late. She's like, I don't know if I can pick up coffee. I don't know how I'm going to get it through this morning without the caffeine. Honestly, everything just is like cloudy. Melissa said, great live Saturday night with you, Kristen, Ruckus, and Deb. Yeah, that was awesome. I only had time for an hour. If I would have got more of a heads up, next time when me and Kristen plan something, I'll plan for, I'll make more time. And Deb, I love Deb and Ruckus. You know, Ruckus, he's got all the experience. He kind of helps connect a lot of the dots. He has the jargon, the lingo from the other side. He kind of gives us that perspective. And then Kristen is a great host. She knows how to bring the people together. She's a very positive person. And she's just good to hang around with. We're going to do that again for sure. What's up, Wade? Good morning. Thank you, Lee. Andrew Derringer says, is it known when the muddy and bloody witness came forward to law enforcement? Yes, it was about 2 months after the fact. Media does ask Kim Riley those questions in the second press conference. We can look at that here in a minute, too. Don't let me forget. You guys talk funny. You drink too much tea and stuff. It's going to the brain. Conch shell? Is that witness? What's his name with? I'm not sure. Yep, north side walking west around 3:57 p.m. away from the high bridge. So that eliminates anything like near Wilson Bridge. Because if he's walking west, he would be walking towards the high bridge. If he was anywhere over there past the Ron Logan property. GP says, I don't believe Muddy and Bloody ever happened. Did you guys vote on the poll? We're going to pull that about midway through the stream. We probably have maybe an hour and a half, give or take. Oh yeah. Boston Christian says Indy cars will be rolling in soon. Yep, I learned a lot about that covering a case that surrounds the Indy 500. Hey, Bossy. Good to see you. Carol, quick hello to all. Your lives are so late for me. Up all night last night, need sleep. Muddy and Bloody may have been Jim Maxwell, who was said to have been hunting, dressing, kill. On 300? That doesn't make any sense. Kimberly Koss, thank you so much. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yep, I appreciate that. See if we can get something going. Made in America, baby. Yeah, let me read this and we'll pull up the map and I'll see what you guys think. Because I'm pretty convinced. I've talked with Brad about it. And he has a YouTube channel, Off the Grid, which is amazing. He covers Delphi from time to time. I just checked out, I think it was one of your last videos. You had a call with an artist. That was interesting. Some good stuff over there, man. If somebody could post that link, that'd be great. Bossy says it's mushroom hunting season here, so I'm out in the woods daily. Can somebody explain to me what you guys are doing with these mushrooms? Is it morals or morals? Morels. Eating Subway. Let me see if I can guess your sandwich. Turkey sandwich. Am I right? Hey, Sparky, what's up? No, Derek, I'm out of weed too. I need to go to the dispensary and my wife has to go to the grocery store. But I have a plant, this fat weed plant that's in the closet right here in my office. And then there's another one that's in my garage. Well, there's two in there, but they're not ready. They're about, I would say, 3 weeks. But I'm planning on just snipping a couple buds off of there. Probably not, but hey, there's Ruckus. What's up, Ruckus Rocks? Good morning to you, sir. If we can get that, his link up there as well. Make sure you guys go check out his podcast, Ruckus Rocks. We send you some coffee to your P.O. box. Now you're talking. See, I'm liking this P.O. box idea. Yeah, I mean, of course I have herb. I mean, there's a herb. I could look down on my floor probably, and there's like a nug somewhere. You know, there's stuff everywhere. I have vape pens. I have butter. Got some edibles in the fridge. But really, I want some fluffy, fresh, where it's still kind of sticky flour. I did have enough to get me going this morning. Kevin says, Sleuth, I just printed shirts for my store using Bayside brand made in USA and pretty affordable. Well, mine are made to ship. So basically, as a subscriber or a supporter of my channel, you'll go in and you'll pay like $21 for a hat. They don't make it, it doesn't exist until that order is placed. And then about 21 of those dollars, well, no, out of 21 of those dollars, about 15 or 16 goes to that process. And then, whatever's left, $5, $6, $7 comes to me. So it's a good process because you don't have to buy wholesale or really do anything. You make $5 or $6, and then your supporter gets a good product. So really, they're getting a good product at a cheap price. It's not really that beneficial for me as far as making anything. It's just more of a cool thing. Like, hey, here's a little support, and then they're wearing your merch. They're advertising, they're supporting, they're representing. It's just a cool thing. Damn, Nate. We got the P.O. box, bro. Just send it on over. Yeah, one day you're going to just be able to hit a button and it'll be here through some crazy tube. Like Futurama. All right, let's read this here. Investigators spoke with blank, who stated that she was traveling east. Actually, here, let me pull up the map and then I'll read this. Might make a little more sense. All right. So investigators spoke with redacted witness name, who stated that she was traveling east on 300 North. Okay, so this road right here is 300 North. And it actually continues on, goes under the freeway and stops after it kind of wraps around the freeway over here. So that's 300 North. And she was traveling east. So she would have been traveling in this direction. Towards, so if she's at, let's say she was captured here on camera right around 4 o'clock. She would be going towards Ron Logan's property, towards his home, this way. So investigators spoke with this witness, who stated she was traveling east on 300 North and observed a male subject walking west. So would be walking towards the Mears lot. On the north side of 300, away from the Monon High Bridge. Garlic butter. I have some ganja butter. I should just make some brownies. Or some Rice Krispie treats or something. All right, let me zip on down. Hey to the few. Just wanted to say hi to Derek. How is Flint doing? Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna let you hang around here anymore. As above, so below. You've been going at Jamie pretty hard, so if somebody can go ahead and give him the boot. Too much drama for me, buddy. Let's see here. No muddy, bloody man was walking on the road towards the CPS. Unreliable witness. Maxwell lives nearby. Hey, what's up, Matt Sullivan? Cheers, buddy. How you doing? Hope you're well. Breakfast of Champions. Hell yeah. What's up, Spy Girl? Wait, they have a Morel special? Shit, dang, Sleuth. No bud, no coffee. Still got hot water. Man, you could drop me in a jungle. I'm going to be fine. Thanks, Bossy says, am I saying it right? Morels? They only produce in the spring, and they are the top tier of mushrooms. They can't be grown commercially. The only way they get to groceries are by foragers like me. Martin sells the $70 pound. Damn. So you guys are slanging morels. Damn, I wonder if I can even get my hands on some. I bet you I could grow some. Sprinkle some spores on some vermiculite. Ooh. Sounds like a challenge. Italian sub with pepper jack. Ooh, I was wrong, but that sounds great. Todd says Richard Allen cannot ever explain away how perfectly he fits into witness accounts, and the timeline and the details of Muddy Bloody Guy are especially damning. Well, there are some people that argue that. Well, first they're arguing who the witness potentially might be to begin with. And then they're arguing if the account is even real. So people are having a hard time deciphering reality from from fiction. If you haven't voted on the poll, please do so now. We're going to close it out.
The drone age has begun in the large scale.
We only have 106 votes. The question is, where was the muddy and bloody guy when the witness spotted him on 300? Your options are north side going west away from the Monon High Bridge, between the cemetery and Mears lot, closer to the CPS building, and didn't happen. Right now, the winners of this poll are between the cemetery and Mears lot, which is kind of like the same thing as the first question, and the bottom option, which is didn't happen. So you guys are almost torn between the Mears lot and the cemetery to the fact that it didn't happen. So you're accusing, I'm going to end this out here. You're either accusing a witness of making up a story, which does happen, and we're going to talk about that. You also, and nobody's identified Richard Allen as far as I understand. So none of these witnesses are like, yeah, the person I seen is Richard Allen. So there's no misidentification from a witness. So I'm telling you, they have an uphill battle in this courtroom. They have to say, yeah, just because Richard Allen says he's there doesn't mean he's the guy on the video, and it doesn't make him the guy, the muddy and bloody guy. You know, especially if they're not getting a good look at him. Right? So, yeah, they definitely have an uphill battle. I don't think any of those witnesses mentioned in the probable cause affidavit are any good for that courtroom. Honestly, because if they can't ID him, I mean, really, what is, we got a guy in all black, you know. Doesn't seem like it's going to be very easy for this prosecution to get a conviction with what we know, and that's fine because I'm pretty sure we don't know squat. Thank you, D. Joseph says, run the old coffee grounds from yesterday again. Oh, hell no. I'm lazy, but I'm not that lazy. Bringing me back to my my younger days. I'm having flashbacks. Where else do they grow, Susie? Is it just like Indiana, right there in that little area? Or is it all through the Midwest? Man, they look like some funky little mushrooms. Looks like a brain. Bossy says in the South, they call them dry land fish. You slice it in half and batter and fry like chicken or fish. Yum. Really, is it that good? What is the flavor like? I'm so curious because I love mushrooms. I like those Italian mushrooms where they're all greased up and they melt some cheese over the top. Oh man. What the hell is that called? Yep, I agree, Derek. All right. So, where was the muddy and bloody guy when the witness spotted him? 32% of you said between the cemetery and Mears lot. And 27% of you said it didn't happen. We have a conspiracy group amongst us. I would like to hear what you guys have to say. Yeah, I'm not happy with the dispensary. A lot of their stuff is dry and moldy, you know? So I haven't been real happy. It hasn't been too fresh. So I'm hesitant to go. It's like I don't even want to go. Yeah, I need some fluffy flowers. I think I'm just going to clip these. I checked them today. I used the magnifying glass and they're pretty brown, the trichomes, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Maybe I'll give the dispensary a call, see if they can put something aside for me. They're pretty cool over there. Thank you, D. All that other stuff makes me feel like a crackhead trying to smoke it. Yeah, I mean, that vape, sometimes it's just too much, you know, the butter, the vape, and all that stuff. Honestly, I smoke ganja for the same reasons I drink coffee. And I only really mess with that sativa. It's more like a pick-me-up. Like if you're having like slight back pain or something and you go take an ibuprofen, I go take a bong rip. That's awesome, Brad. Yeah, shoot me over a picture. They didn't get the memo. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't want to get into all that stuff, but if it's like popular demand, I might do some stuff. We'll see. If I keep hearing it, I'll do it. Hey, Kay, yet they contradict their own witness at the very end of the PCA because they say BG was not seen by anyone after 2:15. Yeah, but according to, I wouldn't consider the 300 to be part of the trails. I don't know if they mentioned 300 north. They just said it wasn't on the trails. Matt says so between 2:13 and 3:30, when he says he was still there, witnesses did not see him anymore. No, they did not. Last time he was seen would have been by that single female who was walking, who saw him on the bridge. He wouldn't be seen again until about 4 o'clock. If this is the same person, if it's a true story, who knows? Okay, so with the information that we know from the probable cause affidavit, we know that he was on this side of the road, the north side of the road. He was walking away from the bridge, so he would have been somewhere right here. Anything past this area to me is considered towards the bridge, right? So anything on this side of the cemetery, in my opinion, you would consider that walking towards the bridge. I think once you hit this area, it's now considered walking away from the bridge. So if this is him and he's being seen at right around 4 o'clock, we know he didn't go this way. We know he didn't go this way. We know he didn't take a long way heading east on the 300 and then back to his home, the back way. So we know he was on the north side of the road. So in my opinion, that puts him right here. And we know at that same time, right around 4 o'clock, we have Derek German and Tara German and multiple cars all parked right here. Maybe even Becky Patty's car parked on this side of the Mears lot. Right around 4 o'clock. Well, no, I think Becky didn't show up until about 4:30. But we definitely have Tara, maybe like Cheyenne, Cheryl and Cheyenne and that group parked here. I don't think the older guy that Derek ran into was over here because he ended up seeing him again at the Freedom Bridge. So he probably parked over there. So you probably have Tara, Derek, and maybe another car right here. Libby's father and Libby's aunt, Derek and Tara, apparently were just sitting in a car right here trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Like, hey, we called. And at this point, I think maybe even Becky and Cody are kind of driving around. But if there's all this commotion right here and talk and people kind of maybe calling for the girls, walking around on their phones, looking up the streets, sitting back in their vehicles, talking amongst each other, stepping out of the vehicle, making another call, looking around, maybe asking people, hey, have you seen the girls? And here comes Muddy and Bloody guy walking up. He's walking up this way and he can see ahead of him the commotion maybe. Because, the timing is almost exact. 4 o'clock, they're here at 4 o'clock. And the biggest question is, was he caught on the camera from the U store or also known as the Hoosier Harvest store? And we know there's a camera right here. So I'm thinking he exited somewhere over here, walked in this direction, was spotted right here. He's like, damn, I just got spotted by somebody in a vehicle and there's more cars up here. So I think the best bet at that point in time would be to just kind of zip back here, maybe creep through here. There's a lot going on here in the Mears lot. You could easily slip through here. And behind the Hoosier Harvest store. What do you guys think about that? No, my wife doesn't. She doesn't smoke. She doesn't touch it. She doesn't drink either. Like maybe rarely we'll go out and she'll have a drink. And then I'll be the one that drinks it. She'll like sip it a couple times. One time I got these, they were like 1,000-milligram chocolate bars. And I totally underestimated. I just gave her like a tiny bit. And I gave myself a full piece. And oh my God, it was a nightmare. Yeah, she doesn't like it. Hooch butter? That sounds yummy. How do you make that? Can of Rice Krispie and a few times a week for myself. Hooch butter. I like that. I get what you're saying. Ganja butter. Yeah. Exactly. So whenever I'm done, cropping all my herb and my ganja, anything left over from the clippings, I just turn it into butter. All right. So let's take a closer look at what was going on at the Mears lot. Okay. So this is what it looks like. And the drop-off point would have been somewhere in here. Wrong season, but I think somewhere right here. But if he's spotted right here somewhere, it's even a shorter path. If he walks this direction on the street, it's going to take him, if not longer, the same amount of time as it would for him to cut back here. So he's not losing any time. It's just going to be a pain in his ass. Even if it happened, there was no way to say the witness saw the killer. Well, the witness is saying they saw the killer. The prosecution is saying we have a witness that's seen the killer. So that's what we're going with. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with the guy other than him attacking um, people that hang out on my channel and Randy. I'm sure he has his reasons, and there's two sides to every story, but we're not going to do that here. Good to hear, Matt. Let me catch up on these damn comments here. I always kind of slack on them. Yeah, we got your back, Matt. Matt's asking, Sleuth, do you believe that Richard Allen is truly BG, or do you have some doubts? Interested to hear your opinion. I do believe that he is the bridge guy. Do I believe that he killed the girls? I don't know. They're gonna have to prove that in a court of law. Is it going to be hard for them to do so? Yes, but I don't know. I think we know 10% of what they do, and that's being generous. But I do believe he is. Am I convinced? No, because I don't know. I don't know. I'm about 99% sure. I mean, the guy puts himself there between 1:30 and 3:30. He says he was wearing a blue jacket and blue jeans. He said he was on the bridge between that time. I mean, other than the fact that I can't see him clearly on the video, that's the only thing keeping me from saying I know 100%. Because one, I wasn't there. Two, you can't clearly see his face. That's the only reason it's 99.9%. That's a good point, Ruckus. 160 watching and only 45 likes. Shameful. Just kidding. You don't have to hit the like button. But if you do, that's awesome. Robin, hello. Good morning, Sleuth and Chat. I wonder if this Delphi trial will be allowed to be live. I think it will be live. Yes, I think it will. From what I've been hearing in the news coming out of Indiana and the changes that they've been making, I think this will be the first like major court proceeding televised. But don't quote me on that. But that's what I'm seeing right now. That's what I'm reading. Thank you, GPK. It's going to be important to know when Muddy and Bloody gave her statement to law enforcement. That came about 2 months after the fact. And I think we'll go right into, after we kind of finish this conversation, we'll go right back into the second 2017 presser. Because I believe the Muddy and Bloody witness is the same person who helped them finish the older looking sketch. And she came forward two months later. Still not sure who it is, who the witness is, but there are some speculation, but nothing confirmed. See, I like how people don't use their real names, as above, so below, and then try to get smart ass. I think his name's Raffy. That dude or chick or whatever needs Joe to take him out behind the woodshed. We know Joe ain't taking nobody anywhere. Others would have seen Muddy and Bloody if it happened. Never happened. I don't know. If you look at this, hold on. Let me pull this map back up. I disagree with that. Okay. So from what we read in the probable cause affidavit, to me that puts him somewhere right here. If he's not caught on this camera, you know what I mean? So that should put him right about here. So if he's popping out right here from the cemetery and he's walking and he's spotted here and then he's off the trail, that means he would have only been on the road maybe for a short amount of time. He could have even just been spotted right here and said, "Oh, heck, I need to get off this road," and then just ducked back. It's not like he was taking a leisurely stroll through here, waving at Derek and Tara, stopping here and like giving the camera a good look, continuing on down this road. I don't think that's what happened. I think he got spotted, and I don't even think he needed to see Derek and them over here. I think just the fact that a car driving by, seeing him, and maybe even looking at him. She said she got a good look. So maybe they looked at each other, made eye contact. She's like, "Well, that's a weird color of eyes. They're not blue." And then that's the one thing that stuck in her head. Like, dang, this dude's all muddy and bloody. And then he looks up and they locked eyes. From the information that's been provided, that's how it reads to me. Like his eyes weren't blue. It's almost like they weren't blue, but they kind of were. You know what I mean? And that's a good description of Richard Allen. His eyes are kind of bluish, but sometimes they're not. Sometimes they seem gray, even a little bit hazel or greenish. Hey, Jamie. Yikes. True crime and other stuff. What's going on? Snoopsy, I want to say thanks for being kind. Peace, y'all. Later, Snoop. Todd says it's the PCA. According to the law, it did happen. No one can simply decide it's not a fact. Yeah, according to the prosecution, they're being held, under the law with this. They're saying their whole reputation is staked on this information. I mean, you're free to speculate and have your own opinions, of course, and that's where everybody's real reality lies, is with themselves. But if you're looking at everything, I mean, yeah, this is a real situation. Um, we may not know who that witness is. So for that fact, we can't discredit the witness. We do know that it's a she. Logan's land grew mushrooms and had trespassers constantly walking the grounds. It's also an area where people would go and shoot guns. I've seen videos of people at the scene shooting. Yeah, I was watching an Anthony Greeno video a while back, and he was sitting on the bridge, and I think might have been talking with Randy Gravitt. They might have been doing the drone or something, or he might have been even sitting with that chemo guy. But out of nowhere, there was just gunfire in the background. You could hear the echo of like a rifle, kind of echoing through that little canyon down there. It was about 3 gunshots. So I don't know if they were hunting, maybe just target practicing. I don't know what the hell they were doing, but they do shoot guns there. Matt says the evidence is compelling. So the witness sees him on the bridge in clothes similar to the suspect. She leaves, walks past the girls, and they walk towards him. There really is no one else. Yeah, so I'm pretty convinced Richard Allen is the guy on the bridge. But what does that mean? We know that the guy on the bridge is responsible for kidnapping for sure. From, and we know that that act of kidnapping led to the murder. But I'm not reading anything or seeing any information that's saying, "Hey, it was Richard Allen. He's a lone wolf. He killed both of these young girls, and somebody helped him in luring them there, or somebody helped him after the fact, or um, something about finding other people, maybe in the CSAM ring, that are involved." Like, what does it mean that we believe others are involved? Like, what does that mean? This will be a show coming up Wednesday. Be hanging out with cold case expert Tim Corbett. We're going to talk about the Flora fires, Lisa Bowers, Delphi, recent cold case he solved, and Jordan Sofer. So I really want to pick his brain on the Jordan Sofer case because I have the most information other than Delphi on that case. And then I do have some information on Lisa and Flora. So this is going to be a good one, guys. Don't miss this. 9 p.m. Eastern time, hanging out with Tim this Wednesday. So let's pull up the 2018 presser. Oh, here it is. Can you guys hear this?
We all here? Okay. Good morning. Thank you for showing up. Basically, as you all know, we have sent you out an email with 2 photos in it. We would like you to put both those photos in those when you talk about this case. We want the original photo that was put out earlier, and we also want the composite.
Joseph B's asking, why would he do that though? Who are you asking that question into, and why would who do what? Because I'm assuming you're asking why Richard Allen would do something, maybe cut through. I don't think she would have seen him, not if he cut behind the Mears property. Two Derricks don't make a right. Yeah, Kay brings up another good point. It's funny, how they identify this witness's car and that one, but when it speaks about Richard Allen's car, they say a vehicle similar to Richard Allen's Ford Focus. They can't say it's his car for sure, no plates. Yeah, and I'm sure they couldn't tell it was her car at first. This witness, when she came forward, they probably once they had the Hoosier Harvest Store video, I'm sure they asked her like, "Hey, is that your vehicle?" She's like, "Yeah, that's me driving by right about 4:00." So they were able to corroborate, that information. But with Richard Allen, you can't. And I doubt he will now. He already admitted to parking at the Farm Bureau, which is what law enforcement thinks is the CPS building. at this point. If he's already admitted it, they could ask him. But that wouldn't even help anyway, because the problem is it's the witness account. But do you even need a witness account if he's already put himself there? Do you need a witness if the guy's admitting to it? But he didn't call it the CPS building. He called it a farm. Do you guys see how ridiculous this information is and why it's important for things to be critical? Because this is the type of shit that they pull apart in the trial. His defense is gonna say he never said he parked at the CPS building. He said he parked at the old Farm Bureau building. Colts fan 111 Sleuth, can a Discord link for you, please? I don't understand what you're asking. Are you asking to send me a Discord link? If yes, I don't. The only Discord I even mess around with is my own, and it's a members only. So if you're ever become a member, even if you're not a member anymore, you still have access to it. So if you've ever been a member or are currently a member, you can partake in that. Guy in all black released that info of BG tainted witnesses' testimony, in my opinion. It's all tainted. You know, I don't know if any of those witnesses were able to see a lineup and say, yeah, it was that guy. I don't know if I'm correct about the jacket, but yep. You know, and if they have 5, 6, 12 other faces and they pick him out. And the thing is they had, what the heck was his name? Doug Rice is his name. He's passed away, so rest in peace to him. But Doug Rice was a amateur sleuth doing some good work, doing some good digging. And he was able to confirm that the witnesses did get a good look at him, because the guy that they picked out, who was actually released from prison, was a registered sex offender and looks exactly like Richard Allen. And according to him, he spoke with these young witnesses. He actually found out who they were, spoke to them, and he made his own lineup, you know, of POIs and random people. And they picked out this guy who is actually kind of related to the family and related to family of Libby German. So she picked him. So everybody was suspicious of him. But in all honesty, he looks exactly like Richard Allen. So it's very possible that they did pull up a lineup and these witnesses picked him out. But I don't know that. But if they didn't, it's going to be real hard. I think what they're trying to do is they're just going to take Richard Allen's own words, and then they're going to use the witnesses to kind of place him in certain spots, you know, so they can kind of create that crime flow. So they don't have to see his face. He's already admitted to being there. He's already admitted to being the bridge, admitted to parking pretty much at the CPS building. So they don't need to identify him. He's already admitted, and it stated what he was wearing. So it's pretty clear that who they saw in the blue jacket and blue jeans, walking with his head down, hands in his pockets, you know, fiddling with something in his hands, lower face covered. They don't need to ID his face. They just need to all agree that, hey, yeah, because of the timeline, because of what you said and what you said and what you've all seen, we know that that's Richard Allen. We don't need to see his face. So I think that's where the witnesses come in. They're not there to ID him. They're just there to place him at certain times. Yeah, I don't think that the witnesses saw two separate perps, but it is possible because recollection's so crazy, and we don't know if one person was looking down. Richard Allen walks by. The other two are looking away, and here comes Richard Allen, the one who saw the guy in black. She's distracted now, and the other two see the man in black or see these people separately. It happens. And then later on, the crime is reported. becomes public, and they start to recall what they seen, and they're like, yeah, I did see that guy. But they might not even be talking about the same guy. But I'm pretty sure they were talking about the same person. They just didn't remember correctly. Yeah, all Derek's are related. And anybody with the last name Farmer. Memory doesn't see colors. Even when we visualize, when we don't take note of something, it would be very possible to remember the clothes as dark or black when they weren't. I agree with that. Ruckus says, without knowing if he's on the Hoosier Harvest Store video walking or where the witness saw him on 300, we are at a loss. Well, I'm assuming he's not on the video. If he's on the video, they would have released that one, not the one on the bridge. Susie says, I agree, Sleuth. He ducked out of the mirrors. That's what I'm thinking. Why risk it? Why walk through there? And I'll almost guarantee that's what he did. I don't know. Of course, we don't know. But, I mean, it makes sense to me. And if he was caught on that Hoosier Harvest Store camera, they would have released it. Unless it's the reason, well, can't be the reason for the 2019 presser, because they had the Young sketch since the very beginning. So that's confusing. I don't know when they had access to the Hoosier Harvest Store video. I know it was sometime after the Ron Logan search, because in the Ron Logan affidavit, they say that Kelsey showed up around 1 p.m. and we know it was much closer to 1:45. And she left at about 1:49. So, I mean, that's way off. That's off by 40, like almost an hour. It seems likely that Muddy Bloody Guy was already past the Mears lot when the witness saw him. See, if he was past the Mears lot, that means that he walked past Derek and Tara. Now, we don't know. Did they see him? Maybe they did see him. Shit, we don't know. Weed makes my heart beat dangerously high. Yeah, it's probably not for you, because I know for some people it can cause inflammation. Like poor blood circulation. I think that's like a good indicator that it's not for you. Cami, hello. Malvini. If hiding while muddy and bloody, it seems logical to stay in the tree line as long as possible. Yeah, and if he's on the north side of the road, he's thinking I need to distance myself. He in his mind, he's most likely thinking I need to distance myself from the crime scene and I need to get to my vehicle as quickly as possible and try not to be seen. Because at that point, he's probably thinking I'm going to get arrested right here. Like I'm spending the rest of my life in prison. I got to think this through. How do I get out of here? I'm so far from my vehicle. Pops out at the cemetery and he's like, damn, like how am I going to do this? And then boom, instantly he's spotted. Makes eye contact. I think it's safe to assume they made eye contact. She mentioned seeing the guy's eyes, right? Boom, the eye contact. He's like, shit, I got to get off this road. Quickest route to his vehicle would be behind the Mears lot. There's literally nothing back there.
photo. So please, when you're putting out your information, we would like all that on there, please. Introduce a few people that are standing behind me before we get started here. You got Lieutenant Tom McKee from the Indiana State Police Post at Lafayette. Jeff Liggett, or Tony Liggett,
I can't
having
watch
a
this
news
part.
release is about all that can be released at this time. So there's not going to be anything else real exciting, I guess would be the word, that's going to be put out there. But I'll be more than happy to take questions and we'll go from there.
How did artists develop this sketch? Was the sketch made with the help of eyewitnesses, or was it made solely from the other picture we've seen so often?
Basically, I can't really answer that question completely. I can tell you it came from the investigation itself.
So the question was, did the older looking sketch come solely from an eyewitness? And this is how he's responding.
Can't really answer that question completely. I can tell you it came from the investigation itself, from officers looking into things, to tips and leads that come in, that people that.
How did tips and leads help you with a sketch? Don't you need a witness for that?
Have come forward. We've got information from there, and the composite was put together with that information.
Why release the sketch today? Did it just get finished? How about
Oh, and they're asking why release the sketch today. So this is two months after the crime. Reporter just asked, why are you releasing it today? Like, what the hell's going on?
other people already seen this, including the family, and now it's just the right time to release it?
This picture was released at this time because that's when we felt that it needed to come out. The information needs to be put forward, and we wanted to get it out there so people can look at it. And it has, again, it has just taken a while to get this thing put together, and that's why it's taken so long to get the picture out.
In the realm of evidence and leads that you have, how big is this photograph? How much are you counting on this artist sketch or the photograph of the sketch?
I mean, it's like anything else in a case. Anytime we get something new or some information out there, we always feel it's important to the case. We feel this is very important because it actually gives a better view of the.
Hey, what's up, Fig? Remember the escape routes video? I spoke about the hitchhiker, aka Muddy Bloody guy, and mentioned he might have been spotted by a car. Yeah, exactly. And to me, the location where he was spotted, and we know, when did they start asking about that hitchhiker? It was right around this time, right? Right around the time they released this older sketch. So the information leads me to believe that the same person who helped with this sketch is the same person who saw the hitchhiker / Muddy and Bloody guy.
Person in the
Thanks,
picture
Vic.
that you see down below. It shows a little more facial features, gives you a little more information on what's we're looking at, who the suspect might be, and that's why we feel it is very important that this picture's out there at this time.
What's so striking about this? What is the thing that investigators look at and say, wow, that's the thing that's going to make this guy stand out from all the other men walking around?
It's basically just a clear picture of his face compared to what you saw down below. We've got the information out there, the pictures out there. Now we got this composite that we feel that is the same. We feel it is the same person, and we just want to make sure that people realize that picture is this person. We're hoping, and that
Yeah, see, he's not very confident.
Same person, and it's basically just a clear picture of his face compared to what you saw down below. We've got the information out there, the pictures out there. Now we got this composite that we feel that is the same. We feel it is the same person, and we just want to make sure that people realize that picture is this person. We're hoping, and that they can get that picture and take that picture and get us some information on a possible suspect.
How confident are you that is accurate?
We're pretty confident.
Pretty
information
confident?
was received. With that information, we've been able to put that together.
He's saying information was received, and I think there is going to be a reporter who asks a specific question about why they didn't come forward, why they hesitated.
Again, this thing wasn't drawn up overnight. We've been working with this picture and with the suspects that the witnesses that we have. That,
The suspect? Wow. Was that a Freudian slip?
We've been working with this picture and with the suspects that
With the suspects? That's just a slip of the tongue, right, guys? I don't know why I look at
this
shit
thing
like that.
wasn't drawn up overnight. We've been working with this picture and with the suspects that the witnesses that we have. that we put this together.
Yeah,
So
what the hell,
it's not
guys?
something that we did overnight. This has taken a while to put together.
Those witnesses, did they see them in the area, or did they call the tip?
Hey,
line with
Apple.
that information?
Good to see
I
you.
really can't go into that because we don't want to compromise the case itself.
Oh, shit.
It's
I
taken a
missed it.
while to put together.
Those witnesses, did they see them in the area, or did they call the tip line with that information?
I really can't go into that because we don't want to compromise the case itself.
But when you say witnesses, so multiple people were able to help you out with this?
There was people that were able to help us out with this, yes.
So a lot of people will say you guys are releasing this now because you've run out of leads. That's not true in this case, right?
No, we're still getting anywhere from 5 to 10 tips a day. We're still getting emails, so it's not something that is just, this case is not dried up. It's not a cold case. This case is still very active.
If you didn't have those tips, we may never have seen this picture in the first place, right?
The possibility, yes.
What's the attitude of the troops working on this? I mean,
That was
the fact
me,
that
Don.
There's a composite that's infinitely clearer than the picture we've been looking at. I mean, what's the move? What is the feeling among investigators who've been grinding away at this for 5 months now?
Well, anytime you get new information, officers are always excited about that information. It kind of builds up their confidence on the case itself. With this information here, we're really, it really excites them, lets them know that, people are still caring about this case, that people are still interested. And when we can get somebody to come forward with more information, if we can get a name or at least a location of this subject, that would be great. But officers have never really gotten down on this case. I think they've frustrated maybe, but as far as solving this thing, it's something that's we've always felt like we're going to solve this case.
Who made the sketch? ISP, did you guys bring somebody specific in here to talk to those witnesses to come up with the exact look of this person? Or how does it
It's
work?
basically just been a accumulation of all the departments have come together and we put this composite together.
During the release, you talk about
So vague.
on the hat. It might not be accurate. Can you
It's like
talk
they don't want to
about that so
admit
people at home know?
how
Well,
it
if
was
you see
created.
the original picture down below, it appears that he's got a hat on that's got the flaps down over the, kind of down over the face. We want to make sure that you focus on the picture. We want to make sure the face is what you're looking at and not to worry about the hat. Even though that hat is not quite the same as the one in the picture, we want the
What's up,
facial
Purdue?
features is what we want you to look at.
Hey,
If
Karen.
someone did recognize this person, what should they do?
They can call they can call the tip line or
Beat
they
his
can email.
ass.
In the release, you mentioned some of exactly like his hair color and things like that. Can you talk about that information that you put in the release right now?
Basically, the hair color is a reddish brown. She was, or the person was not clear on
Yeah,
the
just
color,
stay strong, Matt.
of the eyes, but the person said it was definitely not blue. She was the person was very obvious that it was not.
You mentioned some of exactly like his hair color and things like that. Can you talk about that information that you put in the release right now?
Basically, the hair color is a reddish brown. She
Accurate.
was, or the person was not clear on the color of the eyes, but the person said it was definitely not blue. She was the person was very obvious that it was not blue.
I hate to
eyes.
say it, but Kim is
They,
not the best at this
did mention
this
that
role here.
They were not clear on which color it was.
So there are people out there who are sure that they saw this guy walking around that day and they helped you out. Is that
Mhm.
fair to say? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it is, yes.
Did you hear that?
So there are people out there who are sure that they saw this guy walking around that day and they helped you out. Is that
Mhm.
fair to say? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it is, yes.
And it seems like the only person that really saw his face
People
would have
come
been
forward right away,
the
or
muddy
does it
and
take a
bloody
little bit of
witness.
time for those people to come forward?
It's been a while. It took a little bit. People are scared or afraid to be recognized by the subject. So it just takes a while for these things to happen. Like I said, the picture didn't come overnight.
So there are people out there who are sure that they saw this guy walking around that day and they helped you out. Is that
Mhm.
fair to say? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it is, yes.
Those people come forward right away, or did it take a little bit of time for those people to come forward?
It's been a while. It took a little bit. People are scared or afraid to be recognized by.
People are afraid to be recognized. Recognized by who? The person that they're identifying? Yeah, there's something up with this older sketch, the way they were able to get it and put it together. I don't know. Seems a little sketchy. All right, guys, we're going to start wrapping it up here. Ran out of time, wasn't able to cover some of the other things that I wanted to, but we'll hang out tomorrow morning. And we'll take a look at those things. We can close it out with this.
Or AJ about his experience being falsely accused of murder. Or AJ about his experience being falsely accused of murder and wrongfully jailed for 8 months. Tonight, we speak to a criminologist about the implications of being wrongfully accused, how often it happens, and the reliability of certain evidence when it comes to investigations. In 2015, Arthur Jones Jr. was charged by Hattiesburg police for a murder he did not commit.
You're going to jail for murder.
The strongest evidence presented against Jones in the arrest warrant affidavit was the eyewitness identification of Jones as the shooter who killed 17-year-old Jabari Gowdy. According to the Innocence Project, quote, mistaken eyewitness identifications contributed to approximately 69% of the more than 375 wrongful convictions in the United States overturned by post-conviction DNA evidence. While Jones was never convicted for the crime of murder, he was still charged for the crime and falsely imprisoned.
What's up, Stefan?
Criminologist Dr. Tom Payne says eyewitness identification should only be one piece of the puzzle when it comes to investigating a crime.
Eyewitness identification is just as good evidence as any other evidence that you collect or information that you collect. However, it can be wrong. So you don't rely strictly on eyewitness information. You corroborate. You use that information, but you always corroborate that information to make the determination of what the facts are.
Payne says the number of those wrongfully accused is likely more than the number of those wrongfully convicted, simply because an arrest requires a lesser burden of proof than a conviction. Still, he believes AJ's case was unique.
It's a very unusual set of circumstances that this individual had to go through. It obviously is unfortunate, but it's not something that occurs every day. And there are both constitutional and legal safeguards for individuals who are taken into custody.
In November, a lawsuit against Rockhold will go forward with AJ as the plaintiff. Rockhold's lawyer says he believes his client will be found innocent because of qualified immunity.
If you did something that most other law enforcement officers would have done under those facts and circumstances, then qualified immunity gives you, as a law enforcement officer, some immunity against suit.
So witnesses misidentifying people, it does happen, but I don't think that's the situation here. I don't think the witnesses are able to identify. I think they're just able to kind of come to a consensus of, hey, the guy admitted he was here, and we're pretty sure that that's who you were seeing, right? No, so, I mean, there's really no reason to argue about it. The only argument is, if you were there at the time, are you the guy on the video, and did you kidnap the girls and tell them to go down the hill? What's up, Melly? Unfortunately, we are leaving in about 5.5 minutes. Timmy. Is an abduction leading to murder considered felony murder? I believe so. I'm very confused by the way that's written out, but I believe yes. Yeah, Todd. Todd said, this is answering to Derek Farmer, agreeing, yep, can't randomly speculate based on what you believe may or may not be true because you think the witness supposedly is not credible. That's not quite how the legal system works. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get exhausted if we can't at least accept that part. You know what I mean? At least until they change it or something comes forward where something more compelling, leaning in another direction comes forward. So we have to stop with all this weird conspiracy stuff. Well, you can do what you want, but this is like me talking to myself. Like, you got to stay away from the conspiracy stuff. Don't get lost in that fiction world. try to stick to the facts, follow the evidence. And like Paul Hull says, he says, you got to put everything kind of in front of you and let it paint a picture of what's going on. And right now it's still very unclear. But I'm pretty sure we're going to find a connection between Richard Allen and Keegan Klein and Peru before too long. No, it is not members only, Bossy. That will be a public live stream. Here, let me pull that back up. You talking about this one? Yeah, so this will be Wednesday. It's going to be very casual. So if you guys have questions, just kind of fire them off. I'm going to be relying on you guys a lot for details and information for cases like Flora. That way we can present all the facts and then see if we can get his opinion on it. Hey, Lauren. Good to see you. All right, guys, let's start closing her out. Yes, I will when I log back in. What's up, Lakeside? Here, Fig says, my thought was that the muddy, bloody witness didn't come forward because they thought the guy walking was just a hitchhiker. Was the theory. Man, you really never know what people are thinking. You can't, just because you would think something, that doesn't mean the entire world is going to be thinking that very same thing at that same time. And hindsight also is always 20/20. Not everybody's the same. You don't have to be a murderer to not be quite right in your head. You may not always get it right. Joseph, how do I find the Discord link? It's a members only Discord link. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you for participating in the chat. If you're part of the replay crew, drop a comment. I'll take a look, I promise. Hit the like button on the way out. Thank you for hanging out, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Peace.